Alright, get mad at me. 10 out of 10 again.
Uh,
It is. I don't care. I don't care. I thought
and what
about it,
kind
and
of
there was a point where I was like, is this a 9.5? This is probably a 9.5. And then I rewatched right before we started filming. I'm going 10, and I don't care.
and this episode has LARPing again. Yay!
Yes.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You shouldn't speak of such ne'er-do-well events.
This is a family podcast.
Yeah, don't want it to be too sexy. And a bunch of LARPers, like that one big guy who was like, don't drink, he didn't drink the potion. You know that guy fucks.
He LARPs.
Which is even sexier. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Disney Plus Pals. I am joined by the always confused Chair and the always beautiful Jack. And me, I'm in the middle.
Yep, I'm definitely the chaotic one of the group and the most confused.
I guess I'm the one who is unintentionally very harsh on the first two episodes and then is nice to the rest of the series. And even then, I'm still kind of biased because even though I was like, I don't know if I like these that much, I still gave it an 8. Which is more than some of the WandaVision stuff.
Mm,
I mean, what can I say? I like the show. I like the characters. It's working for me now. And I feel a little weird that I keep giving it 10s. Also, I apologize for the lighting. Literally off camera, I was like, oh, I really look good. And that was when the lights were off. And the second I turned them on, I started looking uggo again. So everyone's just going to have to chill with that.
don't worry, I'm breaking out.
What did you guys think of the episode? Just general thoughts before we start breaking it down.
Oh, am I supposed to go first?
Anyone can go first.
If you want to.
Just not me, because I already did it.
I found this really funny and really sweet. Of course, near the ending, and I'm sometimes not really a huge fan of the whole ending part.
Mm.
I don't want to reveal what I'll talk about it later, but I'm not really a huge fan of those type of situations in movies and TV shows, especially Knights of the Guardians. But anyways,
Oh,
yeah.
you mean the third act breakup?
Yeah, I don't like the third half breakup. It just but I know it's because of plot reasons, but it kind of turns me off.
It kind of made sense to happen here though, because Clint's whole thing since the beginning has been, I don't want this kid involved. And then the second he saw like a Black Widow coming after him, he was like, fuck this. You're a kid, go home. I didn't love it either.
I don't mind if it's done right.
I didn't love it either until Clint said, I won't do it. Because I think I read into that a little. And I think I found some meaning in there. I don't know if it was necessarily intended, but I think I found some meaning in there, which we'll talk about later. But, Jack, what did you think?
No, I really liked the episode as well.
Okay.
10 favorite of the lot so far, I think.
Great. Hopefully you'll give it a 10 out of 10 too, and we'll just all be happy, and this will be the first Marvel thing to get a 30. Great. And I won't have to kill anyone.
That also depends on moi here too.
Don't ruin this.
Like how I ruined LARPing.
You can't ruin LARPing. It's a beautiful thing that even your weird sex ideas can't corrupt. I won't let it. But with that, ladies and gents, let's start digging in. I do want to bring up some random comic book shit. First of all, that cop.
Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy. I can't remember her last name.
Wendy Conrad, aka Elspeth of. I put it in my notes here somewhere.
I didn't get her LARP name.
Elspeth of Deepdale?
Well, on her bag it says bombshell, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
this
Bombshell.
feels comic book. Let me look this up
Hmm.
because I didn't know this character. Apparently, in the comics, she's an agent of some sort that specializes in explosives, and
Nice.
that kind of leads to one of the theories I have, which I'll bring up now, I suppose. I think the show is going to end with the ultimate Clint realizes he can't do this alone. And I was specifically wondering why were all the loppers, all the
Lop.
LARPers, uh, cops and firefighters. I think Clint's gonna make an army of the LARPers. I think he's literally going to have them all come in at the end and be his force against the tracksuits and possibly Kingpin because like they refer to him as the big guy in this episode.
Yeah.
I I feel like you remember Loki when we were like, "Ooh, is it Kang the Conqueror? Maybe it's Miss Minutes." Nah, man, it's Kingpin
Eldritch
this time.
Abomination. Eldritch Abomination.
I mean, I would very much like Kingpin to show up and him just be an Eldritch Abomination. That'd be neat.
If it was
Marvel's
the Spider-Verse Kingpin showing up, yeah.
I mean, Marvel's going that way. The Eternals are a thing. Shuma Gorath might be in the new Doctor Strange because of that Lego set. Ah, things are getting Eldritch. Who cares?
Not
It's
really a
awesome.
huge fan of Legos. I mean, I used to be, but not really anymore.
Jack
It's
likes
a
them.
Very much so.
I have a friend named Beck who is very obsessed with Legos. I actually bought her a Harry Potter Phoenix
Oh,
Lego.
yeah.
Oh, and you just know it by memory because you're great at this. I was
yeah.
gonna get her the Hedwig
Literally
one.
on the shelf beside me, I've got the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Tower of Isengard, so...
Oh, dope! Just all your magic shit in one area. I like that.
One shelf,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm more of a Funko Pop slash like dolls. Don't judge me, people on the internet. I have
I have Funko
dolls,
Pops too. I showed them last episode.
Nine
especially
Funko
Disney,
Pops.
Disney princess dolls. Which, by the way, I just got Mirabelle from Encanto this weekend,
I
and it's
still
the
haven't
Nice.
seen
single
that.
one.
Is
No
it good?
spoilers, haven't seen it yet either.
I haven't seen. I'm waiting till Christmas. I don't want to go to the theaters.
There were a couple people asking if we're gonna do Book of Boba Fett after Hawkeye. I'm curious if maybe we do random other Disney shit too. I don't know. I'd love to do Book of Boba Fett though.
Heck yeah.
But
Wave one, yeah.
Oh wow, that's nice.
I mean, weirdly enough, I wasn't gonna tell this story on stream, but I guess I'll tell it. I had the option to watch the new Book of Boba Fett trailer because one came out right before we started filming, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so excited to watch this." But then I get a text that's like, "Hey Neil, did you know there's a new poster for the Sonic movie?" And then I just dropped everything about Boba Fett and went and found the poster.
Yep, doing that now.
It looks really cool. We just reviewed the Sonic movie poster. Now you can see that the way that Tails is in the poster insinuates that he's going to be important in the movie.
Oh, that Sonic movie. I don't know why I was thinking about something else. I literally just watched that movie for the very first time in like I think 2 months ago, right
I
before
just changed
Halloween.
the image to a picture of Sonic and we just review the movie.
Like
Oh, he's got the biplane. Oh.
I'm
He's
not
got
I
the
mean
hurricane or the tornado or
Yeah.
whatever they call it.
I
I also have a
mean
Lego version of that.
I'm not really I mean I used to play video games, but I'm not really a huge video game person anymore. I just like looking at cutscenes because I love voice actors. So I was like,
I
oh, it's Tara Strong. Oh, there's Tom Kenny. Hey, look, it's Rob Paulson and Greg DeLisle and Richard Horvitz.
I'm not a fan of Sonic, but I love that movie. I don't know much about Sonic honestly, but
I will
that
say
movie's great.
I do love Jim Carrey though. Jim Carrey was so
Rock
hilarious.
Reconnaissance. I
He was
can't
so
get over
funny.
Reconnaissance.
Can we just agree that, like, the mushroom planet being a bit of a shithole was 100% a dig
Oh
at
yeah,
Mario?
oh yeah, 100%. I was thinking
I
that
have
while
no idea what
watching
you
the
guys are
movie.
talking about, but okay.
Okay, back to. Here's the thing: I could talk about Sonic for forever. It's a really good movie. A lot of good Easter eggs in there. But
It
speaking of
just
good
used to
Easter
be a-
eggs, segue back. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I know we're gonna go plot by plot. Jack has notes. That's why Jack's here. But I do want to bring up that fucking watch. I wasn't thinking about this the way I think we were supposed to. And when Clint mentioned, oh, it's somebody I used to work with, I put it together. It's not Stark Tech, it's Shield Tech. That fucking watch could be from a Shield agent.
Hmm.
And I do have some theories. However, they could be spoilers. So I'm not going to bring them up. I'm instead going to use code words. First of all, there could be somebody whose name starts with B and last name starts with B popping up in this show. I think if that character shows up, we are going to see some of Clint's origin.
Oh, okay.
I think if they also show up, there would need to be a season 2. Because I don't know how in 2 episodes you fit that together. But if it is that character, I am very excited because that means Clint is moving on and he's not going to die. There's another character who is a potential old flame of Clint's, old girlfriend that could potentially be the owner of the watch. And then there's one more character who I think I can just say, that watch might belong to Daredevil, and maybe there's like a Clint and Matt
Ooh.
Murdock situation that happened. Just imagine the two of them were fighting Kingpin while he was Ronin. And friggin' maybe he was using the black suit or whatever. Friggin' he's got a watch underneath of it. It gets ripped off. The watch is engraved with his name. Clint takes the watch. There also was a signal on the watch. There was like a tracker.
Yeah. That Lila was able to track herself?
I had an epiphany last week where I was like, oh, it's Stark Tech, and they're going to give it to Justin Hammer. And this is how they set
Mm.
up Armor Wars. But now that it's confirmed somebody that Clint used to run with, it's either A, a SHIELD agent, or B, some new Marvel superhero that is not yet in the MCU. And I have no clue who it could be. So do you guys have any final guesses on the watch? Because I think it's going to be revealed next episode or the final episode.
Sure.
I don't know.
It could very well be Paul Bettany's.
Mm.
And here's the thing. I think, like, legit, it could just be actor Paul Bettany.
I think the actor Paul Bettany is in the watch. I mean, that's where this is going.
You open up the watch and there's a guy inside of it. Hey, what's up? It's Ant-Man. I was imprisoned in here the entire show, but don't worry. I'm fine now. Do you
Or
have any guesses?
opens the watch.
Do you have any guesses, Jack?
Yeah, I'm thinking either some comic book character that I'm either gonna recognize, no clue who they are, or if it's someone we've already met in the MCU, I could see it being Fury or Hills, perhaps.
I
It could
wish
be
they had
Hill.
my Marvel
That
and stuff
Shield
in
agent idea.
I think Hill is a good guess because, like, when Nick Fury, I think it would be like, why would Nick Fury hide his identity? I guess maybe you could use the watch to find Fury's
I mean, he faked his
location.
death. He's got a gravestone sitting out there, you know.
That's true. But he was also at Stark's funeral, and he currently has Talos tailgating has him pretty publicly.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I think he's alive for all intents and purposes in the eyes of the public. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before and will most certainly be wrong again. I just wonder if uh what was her name? Bombshell? I just
Hmm.
wonder if she's gonna end
Oh,
up becoming something because,
oh,
like,
Wendy.
yeah, they usually deliver shit like that in the comics. So I wonder if maybe when they do don their brand new LARPing superhero costumes, Bombshell will have a similar costume that looks like her counterpart. I don't know though. I don't know this character. I don't have a special
Cherry
attachment to
bomb.
her, but she was cool.
Cherry
As a
bomb.
slightly avid cosplayer, I love that their motive will help you get these arrows, and in exchange, you will get us more fabric to make more costumes because that ain't cheap.
I would know. I had to buy all of this for my Moana costume for my birthday thing, by the way. And my mom and I basically made all of this.
When
Secret
uh,
out there.
Nice.
when
That's fun.
I made my brother's LARPing costumes, I used a bathrobe and some golden pipe cleaners to make my brother a gnome, I believe, because he was short, so I made him a gnome mage. And for me, because I was like a knight, I just wore something shiny.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it
when I
was a
was
woman's
15.
shirt.
Yeah, when I was 15, I wanted to be Raven from Teen Titans. I know a lot of people thought I would have been Starfire because of my personality or whatever, but I wanted to be Raven because it was something different. Plus, also Tara Strong because anyone who knows, I love Tara Strong. Freaking love voice actors. So, yep, I went to Party City at one point to get a wig. I had a black leotard and some leggings because I didn't feel comfortable showing my legs. Um,
For everyone who says I don't show my dog enough on camera, but I always show the cat, here you go, Revenge of Nana.
Hi, even though I can't see you personally, but
Bork,
hello.
bork, bork.
Sometimes if you growl at her, she growls back.
Meow.
Meow. She can't hear you, Cher. Um, but okay. So I feel like I have to justify a little bit why I went
Oh
10 out
God,
of
I did
10.
damage to my throat.
So here's the thing, and I think there is some confusion to what my rating scale is. I judge Marvel movies a little differently than I judge every other movie. And the reason I do that is because Marvel movies are like inside my heart. Like the Marvel content is like, as far as I'm concerned, a part of me. I'm obsessed with it. So it's almost not fair to put like, regular run of the mill movies up against the Marvel movies. So how I rate them is number one, was it enjoyable? Which I thought this episode was. Number two, did they represent the character well? Which I thought they did. Does it impact the universe as a whole? I think it very well could. And number four, and this is probably the most important one, did it affect me in some way? So if you can do all of those things, you can get a 10 out of 10 from me pretty easily. And as far as I'm concerned, Hawkeye just sitting there talking about his past with Natasha and how he didn't take the shot and that was his favorite one. That did all four. So the rest of the episode was frosting. And it was beautiful, lovely frosting. But as far as I'm concerned, I find Jeremy Renner is doing a really good job with those scenes. And I used to shit talk this guy all the time. And I am very happy to eat crow and find out that he's actually an amazing actor.
And singer too.
I mean, he's okay at singing. I've heard a couple of his songs. You can't win them all, Jeremy. But yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm biased for the remainder of the show, but I love this character. I love these stories, and it's doing its job for me. I get that it's not as good as some of the other shows, but it doesn't need to be. it's just good, and I like it. But with that, ladies and gents, it is time for us to bring structure back to all this. You know him, you love him. He's really the only reason I wake up in the morning. Jack, please.
Yay! We love you, Jack.
Without you, we literally have no structure in our lives and would topple down.
Into
I write your
chaos.
daily schedules.
I mean,
Yeah, no, off screen, Jack literally messages us every hour, like, hey, you gotta do this. Hey, you gotta do this. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Have you remembered to eat today?
No, I haven't. You didn't message me earlier.
and he always keeps me in check whenever I go a little bit beyond, especially the LARPing part. But yes.
Jack, my friend, please bring us back to Earth.
Yeah, so we were quite far off in our predictions of how the next episode should start. I really liked just the sort of sit down with the family, I suppose, talking it out. Eleanor seemingly having a bit of a heart-to-heart with Clint there. So she's getting the flat and then immediately rings who I'm assuming is Fisk.
If there is a payoff to everything that they're building up with Jack might go down as one of my favorite Marvel villains. Because I kind of love him. I kind of adore him. Because on one hand, he seems really smart in the background manipulating. On the other, the second they started dancing, I was in. I was laughing. Yeah. I was like, oh, they're happy. I'm so happy for them. And in the background, I'm like, this guy toyed with Kate and totally manipulated her into saying all that shit about Hawkeye. And yet, I am loving him in this scene. Like, I guess this is just a shout out to the actor, but 1 second he's the slimiest douche in the world and I hate his stupid fucking mustache. The next day, he's like talking it up and he's like, it's better to be laughed at by family than spend Christmas alone. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, if you think about it, he's a Sour Patch.
Yeah, he's sour, sweet, then gone.
Yeah. Well, maybe
British do not get that reference.
Oh, it's candy.
Yeah, it's candy. Sour Patch Kids. Sorry.
It's like a gummy that's sour, but then after you eat the sour part, it's just like a sweet gummy. And then it disappears because you eat it. Although in this context, I assume it's sour. He was a dick to Kate. Sweet, he's this loving new dad. Gone. Eleanor's gonna kill that bitch.
Yeah.
I want to see him sword fight one time. Oh, fuck.
I'm sure we will.
Eleanor's phone call. She makes a phone call. Here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think that was to Kingpin. I think that was to Val. And I still don't know how Val got that picture of Ronan with the mask off. But I do think that maybe the reason this hit is happening is Kate's mom set it up.
I can see that.
I mean, if that's not the case, it's just weird that Yelena showed up now, Which
everything not what it seems.
I'm not upset about if it's literally just, no, I was coming to kill you and now I'm here to kill you. But I need explanations on everything to do with Eleanor. I need explanations on everything to do with Jack. I just hope in these next 2 episodes they can answer everything in a good way, That's my hope, I suppose. Did you guys have anything you loved about these scenes?
I quoted 2 things. Being good isn't enough to keep her alive.
Oh shit, yeah.
I was like, oh.
And when she name dropped Natasha, I was like, Clint gonna punch a bitch?
Oh yeah. Also when they're dancing to the Christmas song by Nat King Cole. I love that song. It's so sweet.
That was fun.
And then when he says absence makes the heart grow older.
God damn it, I love this idiot. If he's an idiot. He's so
They're
weird.
giving him these character quirks and everything now. And it's like, yeah, I like this guy.
In the comics, he kind of does end up becoming an Avenger. I almost want it. I almost want him to be like the sword version of Hawkeye and him show up and get to hang out with all the other Avengers. Maybe shit talk Blade when he shows up. I would love the
I think
dialogue.
we need to see exactly how skilled he is, because at the minute, I don't think he's quite Avengers level.
Yeah.
Maybe Defenders?
I mean, I agree. I don't think he's Avengers level yet either. I would just like to see it. I would argue Kate's not Avengers level yet either.
No.
But isn't she part of the Young Avengers at one point?
She is. She's actually the leader, I believe.
Oh.
See, I kind of remember that, and it's only because of even though they don't do apologies, my dogs are barking at a honking car. Someone must have tried to steal her or whatever.
You're good. Keep going.
Okay. No, because like remember I told you that story how my dad was drunk and he discovered Squirrel Girl and then like the Young Avengers.
I do.
So that's how I kind of know a little. I know a little bit about it. I don't know a whole lot. I just know an teensy tiny bit. So
I know a little too. I started reading it because, like, fucking Clint Martin was Ronin for a little bit. So for a little bit there wasn't a Hawkeye, and then this new character starts calling themselves Hawkeye. So I'm like, ah, shit, they're doing a Miles Morales. Let me check this out. I think she might actually predate Miles Morales, but I'm not sure about that. I like Kate a lot, and they're really putting some of comic Clint stuff into her. I just wish they'd just show more Clint, honestly. I guess that's my one problem with the show. I guess I wish it was even more about Clint, even though we're getting that.
It does feel more like sort of Kate's the main character here, I think.
Mm. Well, it kind of feels like it's very good ensemble, but since this is her origin story, she needs to be like a good chunk of the focus, even though the whole plot is about Clint's past. I have more to say, but I think we need to get there first. So
Okay. Just also to add to that scene, I love seeing sort of Kate's reaction to them dancing. Is that she's happy to see that he makes her happy, and maybe I don't entirely hate this guy. Oh wait, he's like laundering money for tracksuits, huh?
and this is where we get the name drop of they're laundering money from the big guy. So they're stealing from Kingpin, which I don't know if that's particularly smart, and I also don't know if Maya knows about it, because Maya seems to have a connection with Kingpin. I assume he's the one getting the watch, right? We all assume she's going to give the watch to him.
Yes.
I can't really think of any other person that watch is going to, unless they pull like the biggest plot twist in the world, and we do see Kingpin, and he hands the watch to Val, which could happen. I still want to know what her deal is. I think that Kate showing up with the pizza and everything.
yeah, I love that scene. I love that scene. It's so sweet with like
I
the
loved her line,
sweaters and then like getting all the Christmas movies so they can do a Christmas movie marathon. Like I saw Tim Allen's Santa Claus. I was like, oh, I literally just watched all three movies last week.
And the second she stops smiling about Jack and Eleanor dancing is when Jack mentions the family is better than being alone thing, which is really interesting to me because she's like, oh shit, I'm robbing this guy of his time with his family. I also like that they're portraying Kate as smart. She figured out he was Ronin all on her own.
Mm-hmm.
She figured out he was talking about Nat. She's competently written, is all I'm saying, because there was definitely probably a draft where it was like, so who is Ronan? Is he like your friend or something?
Oh God, I don't like. I never really like the whole like liar reveal plots. It's really annoying sometimes.
You're not
But
wrong.
anyway,
So here's the thing. The other day I was teasing something and I was like, oh, there's a shot in the credits that could be hinting at another character. That shot was the bottles breaking with the coins.
Yeah.
Clint throwing that ornament around and mentioning he could do that with a quarter. That's actually in the comics, where I believe it's how he saves Lucky. Lucky is about to get hit by a car, and he flicks a quarter at the driver and breaks the window and gets him to turn. I think that's the prime example of him using that quarter ability.
Okay.
I hope he uses it to kill somebody. I legit want to see death by quarter.
I think that's in X-Men First Class, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck. They've already done death by quarter. And that scene was legit terrifying. Move the coin. God.
Yeah. No, I
Let's just.
liked them doing that sort of throwing the quarter and sort of training Kate to do it there. I was like, that's one of Bullseye's powers, isn't it? More Netflix Daredevil stuff? What are we doing? What are we doing?
So here's the thing, and this is completely true. The two have fought before. Bullseye and Hawkeye's power set is essentially the same. The two have competed against each other, and I'm proud to say Clint is the better shot. However, Clint fully acknowledges he's the better shot with knives and bows. He is not
Ah.
necessarily the better shot when it comes to guns. I God, I would love to see Hawkeye fight Bullseye. That's one of those things where it's like, and especially after episode 3, where we saw all those scenes with the arrows being really cool. Like, not even the fight with the trick arrows, but the fight beforehand when he was like no shot shooting people.
Yeah.
Imagine if there were two people going at that. God, I would love to see Bullseye in the MCU. Is he still alive in the Netflix shows? Because I don't know.
Yes. At the end of the season, he's getting like spinal surgery or something, and he's open and he's got the bullseye target in his iris.
Okay, I actually haven't seen all of Daredevil. I think I watched the beginning of the first season and I was like, this is too dark for me. And then I went and watched Jessica Jones and I was like, this is so dark for me.
Bullseye shows up in season 3. Season 3 is the best season of Daredevil. You can skip 2.
oh,
2
okay.
basically entirely. Well, no. The first Punisher, and that's really good. Second half of season 2 is entirely set up for Defenders, and Defenders didn't quite work, so you can kind of.
Yeah.
Season 3 of Daredevil is like one of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen.
Really? Season
Really
3
good.
is really good?
Ooh,
I've
that's nice
heard.
to
Really
know.
good.
I've
I'm not
heard.
going to say anything else. I've already spoiled it.
The thing my friend said was watch season 1, watch every episode with Punisher in it, and then just pretend that they kept going and make up episodes in your head.
Yeah, like I said before,
Agree with your friend
I
there.
was more Jessica Jones. I occasionally watched Daredevil, but I was more of a Jessica Jones fan, especially with like the backstory and basically what I'm learning in mental health right now really helps as well.
I
So,
I watched Luke Cage because in the comics of all the Defenders, Luke Cage was my favorite. I did also kind of like Iron Fist, but not nearly as much as Luke Cage,
I
and that
think
show
also,
butchered him. I watched the first
yeah,
season of Iron Fist, and I am not happy about it.
I
I
avoided
watched
it
the second
altogether
season of Iron Fist, and
because I heard so many
Seed
bad
is the
things.
final one.
Yeah, I heard so many bad things about Iron Fist that I just avoided him altogether.
Well,
And I think also another reason why I think I decided to watch Jessica Jones was because of David Tennant.
oh, of course. What was
Yeah.
that, Jack? What did you say about the last scene of Iron Fist?
that I wish there was an Iron Fist season 3 because the last scene of Iron Fist is so good.
Oh, really?
It's
So they decided to
stupid
be good at the
corny.
very last scene.
Where they leave the show, I'm interested.
Look,
But
as a comic book fan, there is already a really good Iron Fist movie, and it's called Shang-Chi. Please keep doing shit with that. Not even kidding. If they just took. I swear to God, just watching Shang-Chi, I was like, at one point, this was planned to be an Iron Fist movie. You can tell in the action scenes, and you can tell in the fact where it's like, we gotta go to this other dimension. That was supposed to be Kung Lung.
yeah, I thought that in the cinema.
I
Very good.
honestly, more power to Shang-Chi. It's better.
Mhm. Probably in my top five.
Okay.
Probably my top five favorite movies
Well,
of
here's
this
the
year.
thing. The reason I have a segue to get back, because the reason Shang-Chi is so good is because at one point in the comics, he was written by Matt Fraction, who is the one who wrote most of this whole thing. I think that scene when Clint's like, I don't know if he's drunk or if he's just a little hyped up on sugar, but when he's like, oh, the best shot I ever made was the one I didn't take. And then he immediately is like, it's not a fun story. And then he just talks about Nat and his time during the blip and his nightmares come in. I
Yeah,
have
the
watched
PTSD. Yeah.
I have watched episode 3 of Hawkeye, I want to say 27 times now. And the reason I have watched it so many times is because I really wanted to break down in my own brain uh, all of the action scenes. But each time I watched the action scenes because I was like, oh, it's such a cool scene. Um, I would just keep watching the part where he can't talk to his kid. And also, I guess I should bring this up, even though it's a little bit it's not super important, but I'll bring it up. Uh, Jack, you know how last episode you were like, I think Kate killed people? Did you say that? I thought you said
Matt,
Kate
but
killed people.
I think maybe she almost did. Yeah.
Well, the arrows they're specifically using uh, are very specific arrows that aren't meant to go all the way through, but are still meant to pierce somebody.
Hmm.
So they actually weren't going to kill anybody, but she also blew up a car and probably killed someone. So I don't know. I guess I created a conflict in my head. But no, I'm just loving these more emotional scenes, and they're really hitting me. They're sort of showing me the evolution of this character because Hawkeye in the comics is kind of like he kind of has this inferiority complex where he doesn't feel good enough to be with these other heroes, but it kind of translates into he doesn't feel like he belongs. And he slowly starts to accept this is my family. The interesting thing about Hawkeye in the movies is he starts with the family. And now he's kind of transitioning into I don't know how I belong with these heroes. I just want to be this guy who has his people and I just want to be there. I'm not a superhero. I'm a weapon. And I love that they name dropped it. But yeah, you guys can talk now. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. I think in the MCU, at least, those are always Hawkeye's best scenes, are the emotional ones.
Mm.
Even there's over funnier spins on them. Like, still one of my favorite moments in Age of Ultron is just him trying to convince Scarlet Witch to come out and help in the fight. It's like, the city is flying, the city is flying, we're fighting an army of robots, and I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense. It's his little personal moments with other members of the team. And then here, again, the call with his son last episode, him having a great time with Kate here. The action scenes are good, specifically in this show. I wish we got more sort of Hawkeye scenes like this in the rest of the movies.
Mm.
He's always been that sort of that anchor, that anchor for the team.
Yeah. he really drags down some of the other characters in the comics because the reason that Hawkeye has kind of persisted on the Avengers is he's the human element that keeps the Avengers grounded from being like, we can do anything, we're gods. Hawkeye's there to be like, we'll die. We can blow up, guys. I don't know, man. I love the symmetry of It's a Wonderful Life versus him missing his family. Little on the nose, but very nice to see. This show just keeps getting me Christmassy, man. It's not fair. I remember watching the trailer and being like, well, I wanted to enjoy Halloween, but whatever. I don't know, man. I just want this show to never end, and it kind of feels like it's about to. Like, we got 2 more episodes. One of them coming out 2 days before Spider-Man. So, I'm not going to be missing Marvel or anything. And then right after the show, it literally leads into Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, it's just weird to think that, there was a time where I was like, man, this acting choice sucks. These choices they've made, you're never going to be able to adapt the Hawkeye stories I know. And I just got to give props to Kevin Feige. He's a fucking genius. He's great. Bird and Birdie, they're nailing this show. Everyone's nailing this show. I'll shut up now. I always feel like I talk too much during the Hawkeye videos. I try to leave some more room this one.
Not at all. I think I've got a lot of notes just on montage through to that scene with him and Kate talking about realizing you're the Ronin, talking all that out. We've talked about this a lot, so my next note is, yay, the LARPers come back.
Yeah, I was hoping that Grills would get some more scenes, because I don't think any of the other characters are necessarily from the Hawkeye comics. I just wanted Grills to do more stuff, because I remember him being, really cool.
Well, I remember you said grills because he grills stuff. And so in this episode, he's bringing the food out of the oven. He's the cook.
I do
he brought us snickerdoodles.
Yeah.
He made cookies. Those are my favorite cookies, by the way. So I'm also going to attribute that to this show is trying to cater to me still. With the LARPing and the Broadway and the cookies. God damn it.
I'm more of a chocolate chip cookie or sugar cookie type gal, but snickerdoodles are cool too, I guess.
Fuck it. Let's all do this. You got a favorite cookie, Jack?
I'm simple. Chocolate chip or shortbread. A good shortbread's great.
To be fair,
I actually used to be in Girl Scouts, so I sold a whole bunch of Girl Scout cookies from 2007 to 2013. Every single time, my dentist, my teachers, anyone that knew me from my parents wanted some type of Girl Scout cookie. Of course, everyone says that Thin Mints are the best.
I hate those.
You can freeze them. Yeah, so there's caramel delights, peanut butter patty, shortbread, Thin Mints, peanut butter sandwiches. Thanks a lot. Lemonade.
I'm gonna piss somebody off. I hate Girl Scout cookies. I hate them all. There's not a single.
Not even a thing in this country. Come to Britain.
It's okay. It's your opinion. I mean, not everyone's.
To avoid Girl Scout cookies, I'll run to a different country.
My dad really loves shortbread, so I was more of a lemonades type gal and Thin Mints because I love Thin Mints. And then every 8th cookie is just some random 8th cookie, either cinnamon flavor or coffee flavor. It's really interesting.
I will say this, and this can be the last thing we say about cookies. I will argue that if they're fresh out of the oven, nothing is better than a chocolate chip cookie. I will argue that. Because if they're just out of the oven, they're just cooling off, and they're melting in your mouth, how do you beat that shit?
Yeah.
Santa. Oh, oh.
I do like
Yes, I
that.
hear you too, sweetie.
I do have questions about how the trick arrows work now. Because I remember Clint being like, oh, I have some more trick arrow heads, but you can't just put these on any shaft. I remember being like, but didn't in Age of Ultron that's specifically what your quiver did? It just did that? And I know that like he's got a different quiver in the show. Maybe he doesn't have the Stark tech he used to. Um, I I do remember there is a scene in the trailer where he's making some trick arrows. I have a feeling we're going to see that next episode, and I think
Hmm.
specifically we're going to see him teach Kate to make them. Because I still have this ever so slight fear that this show's going to end with someone capping Clint.
Oh yeah, that's what I actually put in one of my notes. I put like maybe Neil was right about Clint might be dying in the series, and I'm kind of sad. But yeah, that's what I put. I said maybe Neil is right about Clint being killed near the end of the series, unless the series continues. And then I put a sad emoji face.
You know what I want it to be? I want. This is going to sound so fucked up, actually. And I don't actually want this, but I guess this is how I would do it if I was told I need to kill Clint Barton. I would have Kate's family thing sort of climax with like everything ending in her family. Like her mom's a villain. Her new stepdad is also a villain. Her dad came back to life and is a villain. So I would be like, as Hawkeye, I would be like, come to our Christmas. And then they enjoy Christmas together with the Barden family and Kate Bishop. Kate lets out a smile because even though her life got pretty fucked up, she still has Clint. And then Yelena just snipes him in the fucking head. His blood is on Kate's hair. It's this last ending scene, and then it just goes to credits, and it's like, well, the weather outside is frightful.
Or it's like we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That'd be it.
After credit scene, it just closes up on Kate's face, and she just starts crying, and then it's over.
Or maybe it's like have yourself a merry little Christmas.
I
Oh,
made it to
Lord.
Christmas, my first Christmas in 5 years with my family.
I guess Clint may not be home for Christmas.
I mean, it would really suck if he died before he gets
I
to go
know.
hang out with his like family. I
That's
do
kind of
think the after credit scene's gonna. There's one line from the comic books where Clint essentially. They're not gonna adapt this. It's too late too, so I can talk about it. Clint robs Kingpin so that he can support these people in in an apartment complex. Essentially, he buys an apartment complex from the tracksuits so he can protect these people. And after he steals all the Kingpin's money, Kingpin looks to all the other gangsters and says, well, boys, looks like we just entered the Avengers killing business. And I guarantee you that's going to be the final line of the show. It's going to
not
be
wrong.
it's going to be Kingpin going, well, time for us to enter the Avengers killing business. I promise you.
I really want that. I can't picture Vincent D'Onofrio saying it, but I can definitely picture Spider-Verse Kingpin saying that.
I can see Vincent D'Onofrio being like, I can see him going.
I want him to. Just in my head, I'm trying to imagine his voice.
I'm imagining him sort of transitioning into it, where he's like, he gets all the news and he's like, well, I guess we're gonna have to start killing Avengers or something like that. I could see it. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I could see it.
That's fun.
I've also heard rumors that Kingpin's gonna look super like different, maybe even have CG applied to him. To which case, cool, but Vincent D'Onofrio already looks perfect as Kingpin, so I don't think you need to change him.
I don't think CGI is really necessary. In my
That's
opinion.
what people said about Juggernaut, and look at Deadpool 2. Just saying.
It looks really fake, yeah.
Oh, I thought he looks awesome in Deadpool 2. I will fight you on this. I love Juggernaut.
We may need to do a Deadpool 2 video at some point.
Do you not like Deadpool 2?
I like bits of Deadpool 2.
I
my
I
God.
kind of I kind of prefer Deadpool 1 in my opinion.
Hmm.
I just found him a lot more funnier.
You know, I don't have the Deadpool movies on my Marvel list yet, and I'm gonna have to throw those in.
Mm.
Well, he's gonna do
Oh,
them in the
I
MCU.
haven't watched the Christmas one, but isn't it just like Deadpool 2, but it's just a Christmas whatever?
Yeah, it's Deadpool 2, but censored with a couple new scenes. Specifically,
Yeah.
one where he talks about Nickelback, and I felt justified because I like Nickelback.
Yeah, why does everyone hate Nickelback? I still
I
don't
don't know,
understand.
man. I like Nickelback.
I mean, I think I don't I'm not a huge fan of them, but I don't
I don't know.
think they deserve the hate.
I don't know. What reviewing Sonic, Nickelback? We're just doing everything tonight, man.
Yeah,
And it's
hey,
fair.
if we can redo Rise of the Guardians, I can have some
I
lot.
swear,
I have.
I watch a podcast called the MCU Crew, and at the end, they just started yelling about Star Trek because one of them got pissed that they didn't know who Riker was. That is Jesse Cox. But you know, there's a reason we got these notes. Save us, Jack.
So yeah, the cosplayers go over and have a bit of a party in the bombshell bag and everything. We find out the Rolex has a transmitter that Lara can somehow access for some reason.
I think Laura's an agent.
Thinking there's that bit in Age of Ultron when Tony comes in and says, she's an agent. These are smaller agents.
Yeah, I think legit.
Mystery.
I think legit she might be an agent, and she could be. Here's the thing: if Laura is her real name, she could have had a code name, which could be the name of that flame I was talking about earlier. Maybe she is an adaptation of that character, but I don't know.
I like to think she's not an agent anymore. You know, used to be, is retired, to be with the kids and everything now.
Yeah, yeah.
Which does bring up a question I had because back in that scene when Clint's just they're sat and they're being a bit more somber, talking about the shot he didn't take and that's when never took and everything. He says, "When you do what I do for a living, da 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 da." He's making a living out of this. Is he still? This is my question from Falcon Winter Soldier. Whose payroll was everyone on at the moment?
Yeah, I'm also curious about that. Like, what I ended up coming to in my head is, okay, if the Avengers don't get paid, then what it probably is Tony was like funding the Avengers mansion, and instead everybody got meals and was just allowed to live there. But in my head, I was like, well, if that's the case, what did Clint end up doing? Because clearly he stayed with his family.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about. Here's the thing: I am never going to say, "Man, the show sucks. I don't understand the Avengers income," but I do think that's weird. I do.
I'm sure everyone who signed the Sokovia Accords was probably on, government payroll for a while.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just not sure what the situation is post Endgame.
I do.
I'm sure he probably had something set up to keep everyone secure.
I do wonder if since he was
No.
working as a shield agent, maybe one of the deals of his contract was, and my family, like, look, I'm a world assassin, I'm an Avenger, if I do this, my family never wants for anything. You support my family till the end. And they're like, okay, we do this.
When the Hydra thing happened, and
do his kids have to get jobs? It would just be weird if Cooper and Lila, like, don't just live on that farmhouse well into their 20s. It's a little weird to me. But to be fair, I don't care. I'm not here for that.
So then we have the break into Maya's apartment, which we don't initially know is Maya's apartment.
I kind of knew it was my. I don't know. It just seemed a little bit obvious to me. I was like, don't tell me it's I totally forgot her name at first. I was like, oh, it's this chick's apartment, isn't it?
I had
And
no idea.
in the moment she started writing out, and the moment when Kate started looking at the names on the notebook, I was like, oh. And then Clint said about like the alarms, like the silent alarms. I was like, oh shoot, it's this chick's
Yeah,
alarm.
I caught that as soon as they were going off. I'm like, oh, okay, this is Echo. This is.
I don't know if it was the scene with Kazi that kind of offset me, but I did not expect it to be Maya's apartment. I don't know why. I thought it was going to be Ivan. Ivan is the bigger tracksuit guy. You know how all the tracksuits wear red tracksuits, but one of them's in a black tracksuit? That's Ivan. He's kind of the leader. Kind of. In the
Question mark?
comics, he's
Question mark?
well, in the comics, he's kind of like a general. Like, he's like, okay, I'm the one who gives all the orders, but I report back to this guy in charge, who is not even in the show. But it seems like Maya has kind of taken over, and Kazi is kind of like her right hand man. Which is why I found the conversation interesting, especially when Clint name drops Maya's dad. We still don't know if Clint's the one who killed him. And Jack, your theory of maybe it was Kazi. I don't know, dude. I feel like that's possible at this point.
Yeah, I think the way he said it wasn't. And this is the man whose life I took. He's just listing this off. But I don't think it was Hawkeye. I don't think it was Clint.
When Clint said his name, I noticed Kazi was like when he was like, "Oh, and you worked under Maya's dad," he was like, "Yeah." Like, to me, that kind of sounded like, "Yeah, I worked under." Like, it kind of sounds like this Kazi is power hungry. He kind of wants maybe to become the leader of the tracksuits. Maybe I don't quite know this character's motivation. He's very different from the clown of the comics.
Yeah, I was wondering because he's got that injury on his forehead. That wasn't like the clown makeup. It was a tear, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's right here. There would be a tear, and then his face is white. I sent an image of it into the group chat along with the frickin' arrowheads that are in the comics because, like, I remember we asked about those or something. So I was like, oh, I have these images on my phone. I'll just go grab them. I do wonder because I read the description of the episode before this even happened, where it was like a war on two fronts. I have a slight theory that what's going to happen in the next episode is Kazi is going to lead a coup against Maya, while Clint is dealing with Clint and Kate are going to figure out the real shit. What I think is going to happen is the next episode, Clint's going to find Yelena, and they're going to talk. Kate's going to find out what's going on with her mom and Jack, and we're going to find out who killed Armand. And Kazi, meanwhile, is going to lead a rebellion against Maya, leading in her maybe needing to team up with the Hawkeyes. Because if the tracksuits are going to be the main villains of this show, I feel like there are two ways you handle them being like a huge threat. And according to everybody in this show, I've seen it on Instagram, I have seen it on Twitter, episode 5 is going to break the internet, apparently. According to everybody who's in this show, episode 5 is the holy shit episode.
Okay.
Oh, I guess we gotta be prepared for next week then. Thank goodness my finals is the day before, because if it was the day after, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my stuff together and mentally, because funny enough, my finals next week is all about mental health. So.
Dude, I want this show to fuck me up. I want to be in tears at the end of this show. Not even I want them to snipe Clint in the fucking forehead. I do. If they're gonna kill Clint, fucking kill the bastard. Sorry,
We
there might be
wish-
something wrong with me. I might be a little nefarious. But yeah, the break-in scene. I like Kate, but she's a little annoying. Specifically, where it's like she's just walking in the middle of the street through the cars. I was just like, Kate, just listen to Clint. He's trying to teach you how to do this.
Even though I like those, just here's a guy going in, offer to help him, go up the lift. It's like, yes, that is much easier. Walking through the middle of the road through the traffic, that's a bit of a dick move.
Nope. Oh, always look 2 ways, kids. Always look 2 ways. Don't walk in the middle of the road. You never know what's gonna happen.
I swear to God, that watch is my fucking white whale of this show. Like, I swear to God, every time they mention that fucking watch, I'm always like, what are you? What is the secret you hold? I want to solve it. I need to know what the... If this show ends and they just hand Kingpin the watch and they don't say what the fuck it is, I'm gonna be pissed. That might affect my rating of other episodes. Like, that will be Ralph Boner levels of me getting pissed off territory.
Oh God, Ralph Boner. Oh God.
Yeah, we need to know why everyone wants it.
If you could just give a fucking name for that watch, just say who it belongs to. That's all I need.
I feel like we're gonna get that.
I hope to God, dude. I mean, we've got a clue.
All we got is Clint saying there's someone he used to work with. They're currently out of the game. And if this watch falls into the wrong hands, that person is dead.
Now, the question is this friend an Avengers friend or a S.H.I.E.L.D. friend? God, you're right. He did mention that. He said, like, if someone gets my friend's watch, bye-bye, friend. So that really makes me wonder, who the fuck does that watch belong to?
Oh my God.
What?
He's an
Galaga
epiphany.
guy.
Fucking Galaga guy?
The Galaga
Jack,
guy.
I hate you. Your fucking face. I was legit like, Jack solved it. We're there. Jack did what he did with the Kazi shit. He solved it.
I am an
Great.
actor, darling.
I hate that. I would love it if it turned out it was Galaga guy or some shit. There is a character called Mockingbird who kind of blurs the line between Avenger and S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. But
I'm sorry, he said Mockingbird, and immediately I thought about Katniss Everdeen.
I mean, she's referenced in the show, so.
She was in episode 2, yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, the action scene is really good, but the entire time I'm just like, it could be Daredevil. It could be Punisher's watch, maybe. Frank Castle could have been a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in this universe. Who the fuck knows? Then again, would Clint be friends with Frank Castle? I don't know.
Probably not.
I feel like they wouldn't get along. I feel like they'd piss... Well, then again, they're both technically weapons, so maybe they'd get along in that respect. Maybe they respect each other. I don't know.
I feel like Frank would get along better with, like, Abomination than Hawkeye. Just as ex-military guys.
You get me, Emil. So how did we feel about the two-way fight scene that came together with the big reveal at the end? How did we feel about that?
That was fun. I mean, I kind of had a feeling, I kind of knew it was Yelena, but I was fun. And then she just shot there on my head right there. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then Clint had PTSD when, like, Kate fell off the building. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, God.
They even play the music from Vormir there.
Dude, I didn't even put that connection together until you fucking said it.
Yeah. I was wondering, it's like, why is this so familiar? Now I know. Thanks,
Oh,
Jack.
God, this is the second time Clint has let a woman who was his partner fall. Oh no.
Mm.
Although this time it was on purpose.
Yes.
God, now I hate Eleanor more because, like, now Clint's got even more baggage because she literally went, man, I think Black Widow was pretty good, wasn't she? And now he, like, literally relives the scene. God, that makes me like, God, if I would have said 9.5 and then you would have pointed that out, I would have just gotten 10. So this is, like, even better now. God, I love this show. I love this fucking show.
Yeah. But as you said earlier about the arrows used back in episode 3, it's like, yep, Maya gets shot and she pulls it out, keeps fighting.
I also want to bring up, because, like, I have to be this nerd now, Arrow Watch. That arrow, I believe. Here's the thing, I was confused. Because at first I thought, is that the gravity arrow? Because it kind of starts to, like, light up and act like it's going to pull people towards it. But instead it seemed to send people away and fuck with their ears. I think that was the sonic blast arrow.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it was.
Sonic boom.
See, it all ties together. He shoots the arrow, and Sonic comes out. He's part of the MCU.
I feel like I never heard of Hawkeye have FT arrow before, but I feel like that's a little too sci-fi for where the MCU is at the minute.
I believe he uses it in What if I recall.
Mm.
I think there's a point where he uses something similar to it in What If. But yeah,
Yeah, like oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You can keep going if you want to.
No, I'm sorry. I always keep interrupting people when it's not even my turn.
You're fine. I mean, it's just I could see the gravity arrow coming in, especially because in the trailer they show there being like Here's the thing, I think there's some big boss fight we don't know about. Just like how I was like, man, I feel like friggin' Juggernaut could show up in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think there's something. I feel like there's something we don't know about yet. Because, we know the final big fight is going to be on an ice rink or something. And I remember.
It looks like Rockefeller Square.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
And I remember that there was, like, lightning in that scene. And I was like, wait a minute. Would that be from one of Clint's arrows? But it was, like, everywhere. So I was like, okay, maybe it's Yelena's Shocky thing. But then in this episode, I noticed her Shocky thing was red. So
yeah,
I'm like,
it was red.
Okay, so fucking, it can't be Yelena's Shocky thing. It can't, I don't think it's Clint's arrow because in the scene he seems confused. Alright, conspiracy time. Who the fuck's that character? And
Jamie Foxx Electro.
In my head, I was like, man, the two stories are happening around now.
Both in New York.
I'm just saying, there's a shot in the second No Way Home trailer where New York, like, you see the tears of reality. Clint should be able to see that shit, right? Clint.
Assuming the movie takes place at the same time as the show.
I'm pretty sure there are Christmas decorations visible in No Way Home, but I'm not sure.
Yes, there are
Halloween decorations visible too, so it might take place before.
But the final battle, I really hope they do the TSO version of freaking Carol the Bells or Christmas Sarah Havo. Dun, 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 dun. That would be epic. I doubt they're going to do that, but in my little imagination, in my little mind, it happens.
That's when you play Jingle Bell Rock, man.
For me, Carol of the freaking Bells with fire. And let's go, hardcore. Let's go.
I also think I've pinpointed a scene where something could happen. Because if you'll remember, I haven't watched the trailer since this show premiered, by the way. But if you'll remember from the trailer, there's a scene where Clint goes, "Some Christmas," and then he runs away. It looks like he's looking at somebody in that scene. And in my head, I was like, "That's Kazi. That's Kazi in the makeup coming after him. That's Kazi the clown." But I'm also realizing this Kazi seems to be going in a different direction. So I don't know if Jamie Foxx Electro is just gonna show up and be a boss fight for Clint. But if it did happen, I'm not gonna get mad. He just shows up for a minute and is like, "Oh hey, another Avenger. Zap. Okay, bye. Gotta go fight Spider-Man on the Statue of Liberty." I I don't know, man. And fucking God, you guys are so right about him almost losing Kate and like having the PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, for those of you guys who don't understand what that means.
I didn't even
If
see
you have any
that.
more medical questions, you can
Yeah.
ask.
So, how do we feel about Yelena? Because I thought she was cool. I wish she wouldn't have worn the mask because, like, now it feels like we're gonna get even less Florence Pugh, and we could have had her at this. We could have had her have her first fight scene, but the fact that she was wearing the mask, it wasn't as cool to me.
I mean, I will agree because I kind of already knew it was her from the get-go, from the fighting style, and then the whole red.
She uses the widow bites, yeah.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I kind of already knew it was like it's. Even though I've seen bits and pieces of Black Widow, I kind of paid attention a little bit to the fighting scenes. Also, when Natasha Romanoff was getting beaten up by the other Black Widows, but yeah.
That suit's from the comics. A Black Widow wears a suit similar to that. It does not cover the whole face,
Okay.
but the lights specifically.
I think I wrote the mask reminds me it's a combination of the Night Monkey outfit and the talons from the Court of Owls Batman.
You know, it was a little talenting. That's true. Uh, what was that? Did you guys hear that?
It was a ghost.
There's a weird sound for a minute. Sorry, watchers.
Someone's trying to silence us.
It's Yelena.
We know too much.
That
They
was
must
the
warn the
Sonic
people.
arrow being shot.
Oh God, that's gotta be horrible, like tinnitus right there. Ugh.
Mm.
For those who don't know, tinnitus is the high frequency pitch ringing in the ear. Again,
I always heard it as tinnitus.
yeah.
Also,
Which accent?
as somebody who is developing a little bit of a hearing problem, this show has constantly been like foreboding to me in a way because like the other day I was at a doctor's appointment and they're like, "Hey, if your hearing gets much worse, you need to consider hearing aid." And I'm like, "Oh." But then I'm looking at all these cool scenes with Clint and I'm like, "I could wear a hearing aid. I'm
Yeah.
cool with it."
Just make sure it doesn't get crushed.
Under the boot of my enemies. I got
Mhm.
a cat that will defend me. He knows how to use a gun.
Pizza cat.
I have a whole pack of German
Mortis.
Shepherds.
Well, we don't eat pizza much here. Mortis, do you want to be my pasta cat? He's different.
Yep, I have a whole dog pack of German Shepherds that will help defend my parents and
I mean, he likes shrimp.
I
Want to
love
be a
shrimp.
shrimp cat?
I have to
That sounds like a mutant abomination of a cat and a shrimp.
Ooh, shrimp.
Yeah, now I want shrimp.
I want to draw that. I'm making a note.
I think I might be getting Chinese food again tonight. Who knows? It depends on what my parents are doing after.
So, Hawkeye.
Okay. Yep. My last note on this episode was, well, I mean, Yelena? Mark. Yelena. Just great exit.
Yelena, question mark, Yelena,
That
exclamation
was great.
Yeah. Oh, I also one thing when Clint was telling the story of him and Natasha, the same thing kind of correlated with Kate and Yelena, where she was about to fire at her, but she didn't. I actually like that.
Yeah, she's taking that same lesson.
Did you notice when she threw Kate off. Uh, I didn't notice this until I watched the episode twice. How I do these episodes is I watch the episode once just to enjoy it, and then usually right before the episode we film the episode, I go through and I watch key scenes again. Uh, Fucking right before she throws Kate off the building, she attaches a wire to her.
Hmm.
So I was like wondering, oh, did she like shoot a grappling hook? Did she like grab that wire? No, no, fucking Yelena intentionally saved her. Yelena didn't want to kill her.
Hmm.
Also, I also used to shit talk. I was like, man, I don't even know if this version of Hawkeye can fight. He just held off a Black Widow and Maya, who we have seen is like very good at predicting people's attacks. I was just so scared, dude. I knew that Kate wasn't gonna die. But good shows, it doesn't matter. They can still build that tension up. And I was so freaked out that she was gonna fall. It was honestly very well paced, very well set up. I need to see Jack do shit with a sword, but that's really my one thing where I'm like, I kinda need this. Do we have any final thoughts before we want to go into our rankings? I already said mine. my ranking.
The last thing with that, and sort of having had a bit of time to think on it, Yelena's exit was really cool. But like, okay, Kate lowers the arrow. If Yelena really wanted to claim dead, she could have just pulled the gun and shot him there and then.
I have to assume Kate. Well, remember she kicked the gun off, but he did have the wrist thing. She did have the wrist, so maybe
It's
she
just
shot him.
That's like my one complaint with the episode is if Yelena really wanted to claim dead, she could have just kept fighting there. But
yeah.
What's going on? What's she thinking?
I feel like though if Yelena did pull a weapon on Clint, Kate very quickly could have just rose her bow again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically me. I'll just keep talking and roll right into my score and final thoughts.
Yeah, go on.
I give this episode an 8. This is 8 from me. This is my favorite episode so far, I think. Just for that, almost entirely for just the montage of movie night.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that entire sequence through. If you want to take it from earlier in the episode, her watching her parents dancing and everything. Basically, from the start of the episode through right the way to the next morning, where okay, you go find the LARPers, I'll go talk to Kazi. Loved all of that. No complaints. That massive chunk of the episode was great. The rest of it was still good. No complaints really there. Just, I think if it had kept up being as enjoyable for me all the way through, this might have made a 10. At the moment, giving it an 8. My favorite episode so far.
Yeah, that's fair. With that boomerang arrow conversation, I do want to bring up, and I won't say anything much about it, but I will say, in the comics, that conversation had a payoff. I would like to see that payoff, Hawkeye show.
Yeah, it was a very fun. There was like, the arrow be flying right back at us. We need to dodge. It was a fun interaction there, but that is 100% Chekhov's boomerang arrow. I am waiting for that to come back into play.
I mean, I'm not saying it does, but maybe it does. The only reason I bring it up is because when I showed my friend Skylar the comics, and I was like talking to him about the scene from the last episode, he was like, I love that scene. They didn't do the boomerang arrow. And I was like, yeah, they didn't do it, but who cares? And now it seems like, okay, you've set it up now.
Mm-hmm.
Cher, do you want to do your final thoughts and ratings?
Sure. So like the very beginning, how they had the little conversation and then the two of them dancing together. I just found that really sweet. Favorite part definitely when they're doing like the movie marathon and then just talking to each other. The LARPers come back, which good enough. I'm cool with that. I'm just gonna move on from that before I start making anything awkward again. The fight scenes were really good. Like I said earlier, like I'm not a huge fan of the whole like, oh, we gotta split up, but I understand why he had to do that because like the PTSD. And again, if anyone who's having any mental issues, please go get help. Okay, talk to someone, talk to a therapist, go online. There's plenty of resources.
Yeah.
Talk to someone okay, because I know we mentioned a lot about mental health and PTSD.
Yeah, of course.
Please, okay, it's very important. I'm not okay. Just go get help, okay?
You're
But
distracted
but
from
anyway,
your rating.
well, I was trying to.
Your number, Charisse.
It was nice to see Elena, even though I've seen bits and pieces of Black Widow. So yeah, I give it a 9. 9's cool.
Folks, should I just give the next episode a 10 out of 10 too? I'm biased. I'm fucking biased. I acknowledge I'm biased. But the character's important. It met my standards. Folks, the first 2 episodes I judged fairly. I viewed them as 8s. I called them as 8s. These 2 episodes I am judging fairly as well. I am viewing them how I see them. I love this character. This character has infected my life like a damn plague. And now that I am finally getting to see the beauty of this character, and the rest of the world gets to see it too, where I have so many friends coming to me and going, hey, can you tell me more about this? It warms my fucking heart. I love this show. I love its episodes. I love Jeremy Renner, which is something I don't think I was ever going to say. But he was really, really good. All the scenes are really good. It's well directed. I'm going 10 out of 10, and I will be the lone 10 out of 10 for this entire series if I must be. But I am completely okay with it. Bringing our rating to
27 out of 30.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's 3 points away from max.
30.
It's also, has it gone up each time? I'm pretty sure the first 2 episodes were the same.
Episode 1 and 2 were 23. Episode 3 was 26. Episode 4, 27.
We're almost there to 100. Maybe it may happen.
We're not almost to 100. We're almost to 30.
You know what I meant.
100%.
100%. You know what I meant.
One day I just cheat and I'm like an 11. We are allowed to give 11s, and this show could very well get one. But I will say this. There's a reason I haven't given an 11 yet. I love this show. It's really good. It's meeting all my standards. Has it exceeded those standards? No, those standards are incredibly high. The fact that they have met them is, without a doubt, remarkable on its own. Now we gotta end on a joke.
Oh, wait, don't we have to plug ourselves in first?
Oh, yeah. Well, not in. We don't plug in. We just plug. What are we plugging into?
The Matrix, movie number 4, coming out this month.
The Matrix, oh, that's right.
You know what? Instead of plugging, let's chill. The Sonic 2 trailer comes out tomorrow during the Game Awards, which, ladies and gentlemen, here's my plug. I may be reacting to. So
Yay.
if you find people are interested in watching a boring Neil with red hair watch the Game Awards, then, join in. I might be joined by my usual gaming cohorts. I might be alone. Who knows? But Hopefully we'll see some great announcements. There are rumors of the new NetherRealm game. The Sonic 2 trailer is confirmed. It's gonna be there. So I'm excited for that, if nothing else. But also, we are able to stream again over on Twitch. We had some very, very fortunate circumstances develop. We 100% are back up on Twitch. I streamed last night, I streamed the night before. Thank you to everybody who watches both this show and that. There aren't a lot of you, but I see you. And I guess the last thing I have to plug is confirmed based on the comments of one of the other episodes, which weirdly got deleted. What's weird is some people will comment on my channel and then delete their comments, and I don't know why. But
so that other people can't see them. If you comment on a video and then delete it, only the person who made the video can see the comment.
That's fair, I guess. But we are going to do a Spider-Man review that is just me, I guess. So the day I see the movie, which I'm seeing at noon, Mortis. The day I see the movie, I will come home and then do a little impromptu, extremely unprofessional review with no notes and no nothing. But yeah, that's my plugs. Go to twitch.tv/Dr. Neiltopus if you want to potentially see this non-binary fool stream some Game Awards. But what are you guys gonna do? What do you guys want to plug?
I mean, if we're shilling, I'm going to continue to shill for the Game Awards. Come on, Little Nightmares 2. Come on. Great game.
I hope it wins something.
Across the Spider-Verse trailer came out, guys.
It was so good.
I almost don't care about No Way Home now. I'm more excited about this.
My favorite thing about that trailer is the two words, the word and the number of part and one. I'm very excited for that.
Don't be good.
I'm
Jack of All Trades. You can find me at Jack of All Trades on YouTube. At the moment, My Hero Academia Season 5, we're catching up on that. We're getting through it. Working on a Cowboy Bebop Netflix adaptation video. Not going to say anything because I want you to watch that one when I upload it. Interesting. And
just by your expression, it's just like...
I have heard...
It was a thing.
I have heard wonderful things about that show. I have heard terrible things about that show. The live action one.
So buckle in to find out where on that spectrum I land. So just going to promote because it's coming out towards the end of the year. Every year I always do a series of videos on the channel of my 10 favorite movies from the past year, my 10 favorite anime, my 10 favorite best things that I saw this year, 10 favorite cartoons. That's the other one. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do 10. I might need to cut it down to 5 this year. I've not seen too many new shows. But I'm going to have those videos coming out in the next couple weeks. Hopefully around the time the final episode of Hawkeye comes out. Depends how good I am at getting all the stuff edited and out on time, which I have a terrible track record with, so never mind.
I mean, I love watching your stuff, Jack, so I hope we can get that out there soon. Because I remember whenever we plug your stuff, I always do the joke of like, and don't take my word for it, I'm not just his friend. I'm also a fan. But I do watch Jack's stuff, and it's always really good. So please, everybody, go watch it.
Cheers.
Trying to think of more random things to shill. There was an interview for Far From Home with the villains. Yeah. That was freaking cool.
Giddy.
I'm just really excited for like. I haven't gotten to say this on video yet, so I guess I'll say it now. My God, the MCU is a wonderful, beautiful thing in the sense that they fucking did Electro's stupid head thing. They did the stupid fucking mask that Electro wears, and it looks beautiful.
Oh,
Mhm.
Just looking at that stupid fucking thing gives me so much joy. I hate it so much, and I'm like, yes,
good way of doing it. They got it.
it perfect. They fucking get everything. They're just smart, except for with like they fucked up Taskmaster, but
They fucked up that whole movie. I'm not.
dude, I gotta get you in something where you can talk about Black Widow. I'll figure it out.
Whoa.
Maybe I'll just call it Jack's Take. Um, do you have anything you would like to promote of your stuff, Sharon?
Now I just feel bad that I don't have a freaking YouTube channel. But I don't have time to do a YouTube channel.
That's
You're
fair.
busy. You're being a productive member of society. We're sitting on our asses filming ourselves about movies.
You are in medical studies, so you can save lives. I am talking about watching the Sonic trailer tomorrow.
You went to uni to save lives. I went to uni to draw cartoons.
One of these things is more important.
Yes, clearly I know which one. Yes, it's the obvious one. No, but yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I know I keep saying this, and I'm pretty sure half of you guys, or pretty much all you guys, are keep tired of me here saying this, but I can't make a YouTube channel because I am, as they say, saving lives right now. Currently working on the spinal for mental health, so I can move on to MedSurge.
I mean, if you ever do just want to do a video, like, and this, like, if you don't want to make a YouTube channel and you want to do a video, you can just put it here. I don't give a shit. This is supposed to be a group channel still.
I might consider it depending on my schedule.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
no obligation.
I know no obligations. No, I understand. I mean, like I said, I only have Twitter and Facebook, so that's nice. I think it's just my first and last name. But yeah, if you it's either Sherry the Dizwiz on Twitter or my last name and first name, which is Sarah's and Sherry's. So, and then Facebook is obviously just our names. Just the search of Sherry Stairs, and you can find me with my Disney background because I love Disney. So maybe if she got, if I know no rush, no obligations. I might consider it. It's not a yes, but it's not a no.
And in
It's a me.
comments, we need to know, like, what do you guys want to see after after Hawkeye ends? Because like there have been comments for everything. There have been comments where it's like, do Book of Boba Fett, do Encanto. I got one comment that said, do The Rocketeer.
Oh, I
Ooh.
freaking love the do Encanto. I would totally do Encanto.
There are some
Oh,
people who
yeah.
want us.
Like-
There are some people
Like-
who got mad at us for skipping because we skipped What If. There are people who want us to go back and do What If, which I'm
Yo,
not super.
I'm not kidding.
I'm not against that.
What are you doing, Cher?
This is Cher's house tour video.
I
Worth it,
told
it's
you
cute.
I got Miracle this past weekend. I told you. Like,
Yeah! The ears! It is not coming through well. Ah! Destroy it!
Wait. For Book of Boba Fett. There we go. There's your.
Yes, and oh wait, I do actually have something on it. We could review Mulan. Someone drew me this.
There we go.
wait. Which Mulan? Which one?
You know which one.
Oh.
Is it
The only one I'm ever gonna watch again.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay. I was about to say.
You can't make me watch the other. I saw the other one for free, and I was upset because I saw the other one for free in Disney World, and I was like, I could have been riding rides.
You could have been writing right. I mean, my parents, they loved the movie. And maybe it's because, I'm a huge Disney fan, so I love the animations more than the live action. So I have lingering like and it makes me a lot nervous about the upcoming Disney live action movies like Pinocchio and the Little Mermaid one, and Peter
Mm.
Pan, and Snow White, which apparently I just found
Oh
out that
yeah,
Gal Gadot is the evil queen.
I remember saying that like Mulan is probably the perfect thing they could adapt, and the fact that they ruined it 100% is like, well, fuck. But
Hmm.
we had to end on a joke, and I can think of nothing more timeless than that Sesame Street classic of going around to everybody and saying what we learned today. Share, Jack. What did you learn today during this review or during the episode of Hawkeye?
Today I learned very.
Nothing.
I'm not good at improv. This was a bad idea.
Oh, I'm good at improv. I got mine already. Cher, do you want to go? Are you good at improv? If we got to go out on the cringe, we'll go out on the cringe.
Well, today I learned that LARPing is not a sexy
You
thing.
learned that last week. Why do you need to keep learning this lesson? Today,
That you
I
should not
learned.
judge books by covers.
Here's what I learned. Today, I learned that in a really sadistic way, I want to watch my favorite fictional character get shot in the head while his sidekick is covered in blood and crying. I
Oh
will.
wait, I think I got one. I think I got one.
Okay.
I think I got it this time.
Okay, we
I
were
think
going to end on that one, but go ahead. Let's go. Let's go with
I
this.
think I learned PTSD and being
You
there.
think you learned PTSD?
Achievement unlocked.
No, wait, no, wait. I got it this time. I got it for real. Okay, okay. That didn't come out
For
right. I
real this
apologize.
time. Jack, any cringiness that happened from you going, I'm not good at improv, has now transferred to this for real this time.
Sometimes good things have to come to an end.
It's got 2 more episodes. We're good. It's not over
Yeah.
yet.
All good things will be revealed very soon, hopefully. Crossing fingers. That's what I learned today.
I learned that in the MCU, if someone writes a name on a luggage bag, you should just assume they're secretly a superhero. Because that's what happened. I've also
I
learned
also
that
learned
Jack's
that
bad at
everything's not
improv,
what it seems.
and Cher is also bad at improv, and
No,
I'm
I'm
better at
not.
improv, but
Okay, yeah.
mine's
Well,
not
that's
that funny either. So who gives a shit?
see
That's
y'all
the
next week.
yeah, that's the fucking mantra of the show. Mine's not good either. Who gives a shit? Bye.